Hello and thank you for joining me on one of our tutorial videos. My name is Sophie Columbine. I am the owner of Sophie's Flower Company. We are a wedding and events florist based in the Midlands. Today I'm going to show you how to do just a really simple kitchen arrangement in a jug, the sort of thing that you'll probably have at home. Next up, we're going to add the showgirls of the British early summer, which is peonies. It's currently July as we're filming this, so it's pretty much the end of the peony season. So we're saying a fond farewell to these guys until next year. But if you can't get hold of these, hydrangeas later on in the season work just as well. Or roses. More roses, you can never have too many roses. So I'm just going to pop the peonies in a little bit lower. Don't be frightened to have any of the stems maybe hanging down, not necessarily all facing upwards, but some sort of lolloping over the side, drooping over in a really lovely heavy-headed, relaxed fashion. The sort that you might see on a still life painting. Just going to cut that one a little bit shorter. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to keep making sure that I'm spinning it round so that I'm seeing it from all angles. I think I might add a little bit more foliage in. Foliage really breaks up your design. You can see that little bit of space in between the roses. Although we are going with this design for a really lovely, heavy, sumptuous look. The great thing about this design is that a lot of this stuff is scented. So once it's been inside for a few hours, it's really going to fill your kitchen with a beautiful scent. So I'm just stripping off. So some of these are from my garden today, which is, you can see the British weather's had a little bit of an effect on them. They are a little bit rain damaged, but that doesn't really bother me. I'm just going to pick off anything that is really damaged on the leaf front. But equally, I think it adds a little bit of authenticity, a little bit of romance if they are that little bit damaged. So again, I'm trying to do them at different levels so that the heads aren't competing with one another. They've all got their own sort of space. Another bonus for using chicken wire is that you can get away with using much shorter stems than you probably would in a normal vase arrangement, where you'd just be using foliage as your framework. Because you've created that framework at the top of your jug, you can use shorter stems as they're already supported, providing that your water level is nice and high. So I think I've got a little bit of a gap over here, so I'm just going to fill that with a peony. It's looking really lovely and heavy-headed. Right, so I think probably going to bring in a little bit of colour now. Sweet peas, such a garden favourite, aren't they? They're so old-fashioned and I think they're really reminiscent of people's childhoods. They don't last a long time. But again, if you're using stuff out of the garden, a lot of the time you're never really going to get more than 3 to 5 days. To make sure that your flowers last, it's a really good idea to make sure that your vessel, so your vase or your jug, is sparkling clean, and to change your water every few days. Don't also, try not to leave your jug in a windowsill that might be in direct sunlight. And of course, trying to keep them cool will always make your flowers last that little bit longer. So the beauty of using the chicken wire, although these are really short stems, is that I can still arrange them in the chicken wire. And that little bit of colour, like little butterflies floating over the top. Next up, alliums. I do love alliums, but you have to admit that they do sometimes smell a little bit oniony. They are from the onion family, and hopefully with all the peony, the sweet scent of those peonies and the sweet peas, they're going to overpower the slight undertones of garlic or onion. This design is really quite fluffy. So alliums are fluffy, peonies are quite fluffy, roses are fluffy. It's a very sugary, feminine display, but very luxurious at the same time. I think it's really encompassing the British summer garden. So what I'm doing with some of these is you can see that I'm actually putting maybe 2 or 3 together at one time. So that's called grouping. It adds a little bit more impact. Okay, lovely. Right, so just going to add a little bit of texture now and a bit of pop of colour with Alchemilla. Again, grows really easily in borders at this time of year. It's what we would call a filler flower. Very light, very airy, very soft stemmed, and it's not really there to draw attention to itself, it's more there to kind of support the main acts, and in this case the main acts are the peonies and the roses. I'm just going to bring a little bit down the front, fill that gap down there, and here. I say front, I haven't really got a front to this design because, as I said, I'm going for an all-round design. Lovely. And then when I was out just picking a little bit of, pitching a few more roses out of the garden, I spotted some honeysuckle in the hedgerow. This is going to add some really, A, scent, but also B, a little bit of movement. So I'm going to let this just float over the top of the display. These little bits of detail in here. Again, I'm going to work with the shape of that. Don't feel that if it's got a really sharp angle on it that it can't be used, because actually that's perfect. This bit here can pop into the jug and this bit can hang over the side. Lovely. I think we're going to add one more piece of honeysuckle and then we are about there. I think I'm going to leave it there. So there we've got our lovely frame-free arrangement in our kitchen jug. If you'd like to join us for more videos, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook or at Sophie's Flower Company. And if you are a bride and you're planning on getting married anytime soon, we are shortly putting together a series of 3 videos where we teach you how to do your own wedding flowers. So hopefully see you soon. Thank you.